So, you know, in the world of manifesting things and things that just show up in your life.
Yeah.
Hey, Kathy, perfect. My car has just been telling me, listen, no, just no. And I'm like, I have to leave my car, which I've been saying, this car doesn't fit me. You know, it doesn't. It's a mom car. I'm more of a, so I need like a.
It's a sports car or a truck.
Both. This is Kathy, who is here. This is who I bought my car from. Kathy,
hello.
Hi. So I have to leave my car because the transmission is done. Bye. Conveniently, what shows up?
Woohoo!
This is happening, and hi, and also I told her all about the reformers, and she's like, oh, for God's sakes, like really, you should all know each other. Oh wait, you do. Ha! It's wow, just what's happening is so cool. Holy cow! And now we're going to Greece. Yeah, so I was thinking about like having a tea or something. Like a discussion about what Greece is and why we're going and how each one of us actually in what you're doing in your world, I just got goosebumps, is so important that we collectively go together. And then we collectively go to the next one and the next one. I'm like, do you see it?
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. And it's showing up. Like, and the people are like, do you see it? The train! Look! There's a train! Do you see it? The train? This is so symbolic, Kathy, of like where my life is. And everybody not everybody, but for the majority, people are, we're going through the same things. There's a reason why we're mirrors for each other. So like we're in a meeting today that is all about us like doing awesome. It's all about money. Like Wednesdays is about like money and details and like what. Anyway, one of our ladies, awesome. Like she's a freaking genius professor. She was just in that like overwhelm space when you're like, there's too much. There's just so much, and then you gotta do this, and you gotta do this. And I was like, yeah, and then you gotta vacuum. And she's like, vacuum? I haven't done that in a long time. And I'm like, oh well. That's on my list. Add that to the list, and you're like, vacuum, yeah. So you can get into overwhelm of like, there's just so many things, and the new things that are outside the box, like that you have to learn. Like for example, if you're going to start your own business, or if you're going to like actually face that fear and go overseas because you're in your 70s and you better fucking do it now. If you're gonna, you better go. But that means you got to get your passport. And does your passport match your other married name that you had to that whatever? And we don't even talk about that one. Didn't mention that. What? So like, yeah. So that is where we are at in that like overwhelm. But when we share how we're getting out of it, and share like that all of us have the same. You're like, actually I am too, and on this and on this, and then on top of it, my transmission has been telling me, listen, no. And I just finally, and it's funny, I've been texting with Grandpa, who originally had drove it, which I know, it's fine. We've talked about it. We've dealt with it. We've had our little and spanking. But now it's like you actually have to put the car into the shop. Just like you have to just sit there and learn how to start your website, and you have to sit there and make all your plates to collect your money in your little box. And then everybody's boxes collectively go together to the bigger boxes, to the whole building. That's what I'm talking about. I've been talking about it for years. The whole building. Think about every little piece of the whole building is working collectively for the greater good. It's like everybody wins. It's awesome. It's like there's no competition, and there's no like jealousy or weird like, oh, I did that, I wanted to do that. There's just doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist.
It shouldn't exist, right?
It's freaking awesome. When you look at the big picture, I'm like, oh, what am I driving? What do I even like? How do you like to spend your time for real? Like for real. You know, it's amazing. I have actually been spending my time the way I want to spend my time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You're like, huh, that is actually what I want to do. That's like tremendous, actually. It's amazing. And so I'm like, huh, I need to have a little get together
moment.
I had an aha moment, and involved also what I drive and what do I like to drive. And do I even like, I have this thing for motorcycles. I have this deep like especially motocross. I see it and my pupils dilate and I go into like this like it's the big O. It is the big O because I'm like, and it's the bike and the helmet and the whole thing, everything about it. Just I'm like, it is. I have this thing, and it's also God on a Harley, which is also like circles back, everything full circle. So who knows? I'm not gonna be riding a motorcycle myself. I do like to be on the back, very much. It's fun. Only certain ones. Only one, actually, yeah. But anyway. The car that I want should probably be a sports car. I think I need, or a badass. You know what I saw that I really want? If I could, if she can have anything. It was a diesel stick shift Jeep that's so dang hot. It's just like, oh my God, that's hot. It's like it's not beefy, but it's not thin either.
Right.
It's like, oh. Well, where have you been? It's sitting right next to your other favorite car, the 56 baby blue Thunderbird with white interior.
Oh, I like that.
That's literally my favorite car. And I was saying to somebody, I was like, oh, well, that's my favorite car. Who's really into cars? And I'm like, cars. Except this particular one would be like, oh yeah, that would 100% is my car. And they're like, oh, you mean this one? Because I have one. And it's got legit like 3,000 miles on it. And it is a 56 baby blue T-Bird with white interior. I'm like, what? You know I need to do a photo shoot in that. Maybe with my crown on.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh, dang. Shit. All right. Oh. You're welcome.